Your ex is actually worried that you're going to move on. And here are 3 tips that you need to understand on how to navigate going forward. After doing thousands of coaching calls and thousands of text and email coaching sessions over the last 10 years, I've gotten thousands of people back together. All you have to do is follow these tips and follow the videos on my page. And if you need help with your situation, go to the Stan Store link in the profile and click the option that works for you. Now, let's finally move on. So the very first thing to understand, they're going to be worried about you moving on at some point, okay? Because yes, they want to be away from you, right? But they also don't want you to be with anybody else. And they're going to constantly be teetering between wanting to come back and wanting to move on and so forth. And the more needy that you act, the further it's going to push them towards one side of the spectrum. So going into that, the very first step and the very first thing you have to do is to stay calm and maintain mystery, okay? This is so important. Here's why this works. When your ex worries that you're moving on, their anxiety grows. You need to create anxiety and fear in them. And they no longer feel like they're in control, okay? Your calm response deepens their curiosity and attraction to you. Now, I know I said like calm response as if they're reaching out to you. Maybe you're blocked or something like that. But the point is when you do self-improvement and you do no contact and they inevitably do reach out to you, it's because they feel out of control and they feel like they're losing you. Sometimes you're in contact with each other, like some of my students are. So, you're going to have these moments where your ex is going to be like curious about what you're doing, maybe try to breadcrumb you, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure that you're deepening the curiosity and not giving them your feelings and how much you miss them over on a silver platter, okay? They need to wonder. So how exactly do you do this? Well, avoid reassuring your ex directly that you're still available or interested. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see my clients make before they come to me, of course. And it is saying to your ex, I'll always be there. You come back to me whenever you want. It's all good, thinking this is attractive at all, right? I'm not trying to be condescending at all. It's just when you are when you're away from the emotion of it all, you see how silly it actually is to say something like that because it's coming from such a celebrity looking down at a fan kind of mentality. And you don't want that. You want your ex to be looking at you as an equal and with a lot of value and respect. So when you say something like, I'm going to be there no matter what, they're like, okay, I'm just going to go and do what I want then. See you later. All right. So continuing on with step number 1 is don't share too much about your life and let their imagination fill in the blanks. The more mysterious that you remain, the stronger your desire, their desire to reconnect with you gets and becomes. The second tip here is focusing on your own personal growth. I know this is obvious. I know you probably hear this in so many damn videos, but here's why I have to say this, and here's why I have to reinforce this thing. This chart comes from the book Letting Go, which is also in my Stan Store link along with all the coaching, okay? This chart is a visual representation of your emotional growth. Starting from the bottom, where you're going to be in the fearful, and up to courage and neutrality, etc. Okay? It's so important for you to work on yourself because the relationship got to where it is because something is not working. Okay? If your ex came back right now, how different would the relationship really be, especially from your end? So if you're a bad communicator, work on your communication skills, etc. Look, it starts with one skill and one thing, and you slowly build from there. So seeing you thriving and improving yourself intensifies their fear of losing you permanently because they know that you're going to be back on the market eventually, right? And personal growth increases your value in their eyes. So again, this is why I always say glow up after a breakup. So how do you do this? Engage in new hobbies. As much as you don't want to go out there and interact with other people, do it anyway. Social activities, fitness and career, money. I tell people to focus on their money problems. It is so important to do that because you'll start giving more value to the world because value follows money, okay? Or money follows value, I should say. And that is always better, okay? Especially in the new age. I don't mean like billionaires and them fucking idiots, but I mean like, people who create awesome businesses, like through TikTok, for example. And you want to know what I think about actually is those people that do food reviews on here, right? Because it's like, you see them and they're like, ooh, I want to go check out this new place. And it just connects people from one thing to another, which is so powerful to me. Anyway, weird insight there. Your growth is going to make you more attractive and reinforce the reality that you can thrive without them. Super important, guys. So here's number 3. Doing no contact and letting them come to you. Everybody gives away their energy on a silver platter like it means fuck all. Okay? And you don't want that. You want them to look at you and go, that dude or that lady has value. Now, nobody consciously says that person has value, but they'll show you through their actions and how much they want to be around your energy, how much they do value you. So this is the power of letting somebody miss you and letting them come to you, because now you'll fully know that they miss you and they actually do think about you and do want you around them. They'll start reaching out. They'll start saying things like, hey, how have you been? Crap like that. So if they truly fear losing you, they're going to reach out with clarity and they're going to reach out directly. Now, most people don't do that I've seen, but the people that do come very clearly have been thinking about coming back for quite some time. Most people are kind of torn, but I do sometimes see that. So it's kind of like a spectrum, right? People who truly, truly, really miss you that are way over here. They're like, you know what? I fucked up by letting you go, blah, blah, blah. And there's people here. Normally, when they start hitting this little spot here is when you're going to see just weird behavior, hot and cold. They'll say they want to hang out with you, then they'll try to make the plan, then they don't show up, that kind of stuff. But you want them to be leaning over here, and that's why you do the no contact for as long as you do, a couple of months, few months, right? Because that way, you know that they've been coming back this way, and they'll start to show you repeatedly that they want to see you. So allowing them to initiate contact puts you in control and clarifies their intentions, okay? And here's how you do this. Resist the urge to reach out first, even if you sense that they are worried or whatever, posting stories or doing any of that lame shit. You want to look, we're adults here. Posting shit on TikTok stories, Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, hoping that someone's going to reach out to somebody else is lame. Don't do that. If they do reach out, respond lightly and neutrally at first. Let them put some actual investment and effort into this conversation. Here's an important tip. The harder that they work to reconnect, the stronger the emotional investment becomes. I'm not saying I want you to be a cold fish, but I want you to lean a little bit more like, let's see how hard you're going to work for this. Use that. So what happens next? I always get this question, right? What do I do? If you stick to these 3 strategies here, your ex's anxiety about losing you is going to increase. Number 1, they get more motivated to be clear about their feelings towards you when they do talk to you. I tell a lot of my students to set boundaries. Setting boundaries communicates, this is what I want. It's up to you to now communicate what you want. Does this match? Yes or no, right? And the third thing is you regain emotional control and create the conditions for genuine reconciliation or clear closure. Okay? So when your ex is worried that you're moving on, it's a sign you're doing everything right. Stay calm, remain mysterious, and let them come to you, okay? Your silence and growth is going to be so powerful in your growth as a human. And more, if you don't get your ex back, you're going to get something better, because going up in this chart has done nothing but benefit the students that have been under my wing for so long. So much love to you guys. Book a session if needed.